What's up everybody? Welcome back. I'm your everyday average investor, and in today's video we are going to be discussing a full-fledged guide for VEVE. So without further ado, let's go ahead and dive right on into it. Alright, so before we get started, let's just go ahead and take a look at the market, as it's still been a bit shaky and we haven't seen any new information about crypto or even stocks in general. So as you guys can see here, Bitcoin's at 46. We can see that Ethereum is starting to pick back up all the way back up to 3.8. And I think 2 days ago, the video was at like 3.6, 3.7. So we're definitely seeing some traction with Ethereum. And I definitely think we're going to see some more traction, especially as NFTs get picked up more and more. So obviously we have insane hype in the NFT space. And I mean, obviously everything is going to be going through Ethereum if you're buying ETH-based NFTs. Because currently, NFTs on Solana and BNB haven't gotten the same hype. So I definitely think ETH is going to have the exact same traction going into 2022. And I'm really hoping to see kind of that 8 to 9K ETH, but really nobody knows what's going to happen. So, I mean, let's take a look at VEVE. This is what you guys have all been waiting for. So this is VEVE. If you guys don't know what VEVE is, it's basically an app that you could download either on iOS or Google, and it's super easy to use. It basically makes NFT collecting extremely simple, and that's why I really like it. So the main thing to go off of with VEVE is that it's not ETH, but it is somehow still on the blockchain, and that's because it uses Omnicoin or OMI. And the way it works is that you buy gems through their app store. So basically you buy gems through the app store. So if you're on iOS, you basically purchase, like for example, so you want to buy $10 worth of gems, it's going to charge you to the credit card linked on your Apple ID file so far. And you're just going to buy gems, and that's how you buy the collectibles on VEVE. And then when you sell, obviously you sell in gems. Now, as of right now, unfortunately, they don't have a way for you to cash out your gems. So if you have, for example, 100 gems in there, you can't bring that back to your bank as 100 gems. But apparently they're going to do that in 2022, I think February, if I'm not mistaken. That's what I saw. So it's definitely not a scam. This is something obviously reputable and a lot of people are using. Second of all, they're starting to put all the NFTs on IMX marketplace, which if you guys don't know what that is, that's basically just another Ethereum layer marketplace where you could buy and sell NFTs. And their goal is to start listing on OpenSea. So whatever digital collectibles you have here, you're basically buying them without gas. You're buying it without fees, literally. So an NFT could be $7 and you only have to pay $7. You don't have to pay the expensive gas. You don't have to worry about transaction failures. You don't have to worry about all that stuff. And that's why I like VEVE, because it's super duper simple to use and it gets rid of all that kind of complicated stuff. So they're going to be putting that on IMX and hopefully on OpenSea. Now, when they start doing that, VEVE is going to be insane. Just having collectibles on OpenSea and IMX, especially the collectibles that they have in VEVE, they have insane drops like Disney, they have Marvel drops, they have comic book drops. So, I mean, we're seeing a lot of niche stuff in VEVE that you're not seeing in OpenSea and IMX. And that's why I recommend using VEVE. Now, unfortunately, it's getting a lot harder to buy NFTs on VEVE, I'm going to be honest, because a lot of people are starting to get into VEVE. I think this is dropping tomorrow, if I'm not mistaken. So whoever's still not, looking at this, start getting into VEVE, because you could get a chance to buy this tomorrow. And once again, if you are not following my Twitter, I'll put that in the link down below. I'll also put it up on the screen. Make sure you guys check me out there, because I'm always calling out VEVE drops as well as other NFT drops and helping you guys stay up to date. So try to get into the VEVE ecosystem, because the ecosystem, is massively growing. And I can just tell, with the golden moments with Disney, if nobody knows what that is, they released a lot of Disney NFTs. So if you guys aren't already on VEVE, definitely get into the golden space, because the space is growing tremendously fast. So VEVE had an exclusive golden moment drop with Disney, and you guys can see this here. This statue is going for $330 mint. If I'm not mistaken, it's $333. It resold for $15K. So the collectibles on VEVE are selling out tremendously fast, and the space is growing really fast. And I could tell because it's getting a lot harder to get into comics and collectibles, because there's so much more attention to it now, especially after the Disney drop. So there are still going to be some more Disney drops. They just released the Mickey Mouse one, I'm pretty sure 2 weeks ago. So, I mean, definitely get into the VEVE space and try to get these drops. So I have a couple tips and tricks to kind of be able to secure a drop. So one of them is going to be right here. So this is basically going to kind of simulate how your page is going to look when you're trying to buy a comic or a collectible on VEVE. You know, you're going to have this loading page with a couple of information. It's going to tell you it's a blind box, etc., etc. And then it's going to be a box saying buy now. So most of the times what's going to actually happen is you're going to have this informational box as well as this box. And then right here, you're going to have a notify me button. And this $15 buy now button won't be here. So really the strategy is the notify me button is right here. So let me help you guys picture this. Notify me button is right here. You have this, and then you kind of have a gap right here. What you should do is be clicking between this and the notify me button in this area right here. That way, right when it switches, because it's going to count down, obviously most drops happen at 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So if you're there at 10:59 constantly clicking the button, right when it switches from notify me to buy now, you're going to hit it right away and then click buy and then check out. And that's really the best strategy to get these things. That's worked for me. It's worked for a lot of my friends. You know, I've heard a lot of people have success with that strategy. A lot of people in the Discord and Twitter space will even tell you, you know, that's definitely one of the best strategies to try to get it. Now, a lot of people don't know that VEVE actually has rebound periods. So what that means is usually VEVE gives you a typical around 2 minutes to complete your checkout. And what ends up happening is if you can't complete your checkout, these collectibles rebound at 11:04 with 1 second. So in my time, Eastern Standard Time, at 11 a.m., the drop happens. At 11:04 and 1 second, literally 11:04 and 1 second, and you have to make sure you time it perfectly because it actually is at 1 second. So after 4 minutes and 1 second, you could click buy now again and potentially get comics or collectibles that people couldn't finalize in their checkout. So whoever wasn't able to finalize the checkout, those rebound at 11:04 and 1 second. Those who weren't able to get it at 11:04 with 1 second, they rebound at 11:08 1 second, then 11:12 1 second, then 11:16 1 second, and I think the last one's 11:20 1 second. Now it's really important that if you click the buy now button and it says all the editions have been allocated, that you don't refresh and don't close out of the app, because you need to keep that buy now button there. Because a lot of times what ends up happening is if you refresh, you're going to see a sold out button, and now you can't do that rebound strategy. I mean, you can technically, but it's extremely hard because what you have to do is literally at 11:04, exit the app, enter the app precisely at 11:04 with 1 second, and enter the collectible, which is insanely hard. So you have a lot more potential getting a rebound without reloading the page and just waiting there for 4 minutes and 1 second and then clicking the buy now button right away. And I've heard some people have success with that before as well. Now, that's going to be basically how you really get these NFTs. I don't recommend bots. You know, it's getting really annoying. I hope VEVE kind of clears up the whole bot thing because it is extremely annoying. But if you are successful, you should get a picture looking like this saying that, oh, your collectible's on the way, and it should give you a rarity number. Now, the way collectibles work are obviously the lower your mint number, the more valuable it is. So mint from 1, you know, it goes obviously from 1 all the way to the number of editions. So most of them have like 10,000 editions. Mint number 1 is going to be way more valuable than the rest of the editions. You know, so to just keep that in mind. Also keep in mind that the market is closed 30 minutes before and 30 minutes after a drop. So, I mean, VEVE is definitely an app to be looking out for. If you guys want me to do more VEVE app tutorials and information, there's a lot of information about VEVE that a lot of people are missing out on. So make sure you guys subscribe to the channel, check out my Twitter, link in bio, and I'll also put it up on the screen. And if you have any more questions or any questions at all, shoot me a DM in Twitter. I'm answering all questions there, and I'll see you guys in the next one.